This is Michael Turner, and I'm here with John Sims. We're going to do a private consultation at the Norton Hospital. I'm an LPN. Uh, Good afternoon. My name is Michael, and I'm a licensed practical nurse here at Norton Hospital. I'll be sitting down with you today for our scheduled alcohol counseling session. To give you a little bit of background about myself, I completed my LPN training at Sullivan University and hold a general studies degree from the University of Louisville, though I'm originally from Clinton, Mississippi. My goal is always to provide compassionate, well-rounded care where you feel completely supported. Today's session is a safe, confidential space for us to talk openly about your relationship with alcohol, explore any goals or concerns you might have, and discuss practical strategies to support your health and well being. This will take about 30 minutes today, and will go entirely at your pace. How are you feeling today? Is there anything specific you'd like to focus on before we get started?
I'm a little nervous, I think. To be honest, I probably could use a drink right now. My doctor suggested I talk to someone after some of my blood work came back. My blood pressure was a little bit high. I don't think I have a problem myself, but I've been known to have a few drinks, and I've been drinking a little bit more lately. Just some stress going on, and I enjoy it.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that with me. It's completely normal to feel a bit nervous when starting a conversation like this. I really appreciate your honesty. We're not here to label anything or tell you what to do. We're just here to look at how drinking fits into your overall health and stress levels and see what makes sense for you. When you have the urge to drink, what's usually going on? Is it physical tension, mental fatigue, or just a moment in your daily routine?
Well, I mean, I'm not sure. I really know like an urge to drink. I just like to have a drink when I get home from work in the evening. Just wind down.
It's re-
Um,
it's really common to confuse a physical habit with actual stress relief. Does the drinking make the stress go away, or does it just pause until the next morning?
I mean, I don't know. When I have a drink, I just feel like the stress kind of melts away slowly after one or two, and then I end up being able to fall asleep and start again the next day.
Okay. For to start us off, could you walk me through what a typical week looks like for you when it comes to drinking alcohol?
Well, during the week, I usually have two or three beers after work just to unwind, like I said. But on weekends, I try to hang out with some friends or watch a game. If there's games on, might be 4 or 5 drinks a night.
So when you're out with friends or family on the weekend, how easy or hard is it to say no to another round?
Oh, it's always pretty easy to say, uh, yeah, I want one because somebody's offering it to me, or go get it. But I pretty much know when I've had too much when I'm out, or getting to that point.
What usually influences that choice about having another round or two?
Um, just being able to focus on what people are saying, and I mean, if things start getting blurry or something like that, I know for sure I've had too much. But I doesn't usually get to that point. 4 or 5 beers or just alcohol drinks usually is just more of a full feeling. But I guess some people hit a little faster and slower than others. But probably my tolerance is increased a little bit.
So drinking serves as a way to transition out of work mode and relax in the evenings, as well as a social outlet on the weekends.
Yeah, exactly. I just it helps to turn my brain off after a stressful day for sure.
So alcohol often helps people fall asleep faster, but it can disrupt the deeper REM sleep your body needs to fully recharge. Have you noticed feeling sluggish even after a full night's rest?
Oh, for sure. I'm always tired when I get up, and no matter how much sleep I get, I still want to sleep some more sometimes, but got work to do and things to get done around the house, or got to get up and go to work.
That makes sense. Stress relief is a very common reason people reach for a drink. What are some of the things you like about your drinking habits now?
I mean, just cool and crisp beer after a hot day, or being able to socialize with friends and go out and have a drink or two. I don't know. Um, some people like to drink more. Some people you can tell that are pretty. You can tell if they've had too much, or their stress levels, inhibitions. They're not so wound up, and it helps me to relax a little bit and be able to talk more sometimes. Helps me decompress and feels good in the moment, I guess. Uh, it's just kind of fun when I'm social and hanging out with people.
Okay, well, a couple of things about alcohol use. Even moderate, regular drinking can keep the resting blood pressure elevated. But the great news is that even cutting back a little or slightly can lead to noticeable improvements in your numbers within just a few weeks. And then also, alcoholic calories add up quickly. But more than that, it can slow down our metabolism and lower our energy levels the next day. How has your energy been for exercise or daily activities lately?
I mean, I have just. I mean, as I get older, it's probably energy level gets a little less. I don't know. Some days I don't feel like doing as much, but when it comes to work, I got to get there and got to be there. So I got to do everything I'm supposed to. But I'm always a little tired.
Okay. On the flip side, are there any things that concern you or aspects of drinking that you don't like that much?
Yeah, I guess kind of talking about being tired. I've noticed honestly that I'm just tired in the morning when I get up for sure, and some days I feel a little run over, like had too much the night before. Sometimes my doctor mentioned my blood pressure was up, so that worried me a little bit, and my spouse always telling me about snoring and sleeping poorly, but I just say when I go to bed, I sleep, and if I get up when the alarm goes off.
So, since alcohol was transition helping you transition out of work mode, what's another physical activity that could mark the end of your workday? Something like a 10-minute walk, a hot shower, or stretching?
Yeah, I guess definitely when it's time to get off work, I have to go home and wind down, but usually just having a drink, just something that starts off. I usually try to do a little work around the house, clean up after the animals, and just one drink sometimes leads to another.
Well, there are non alcoholic substitutes. Sometimes just having a glass in hand with a cold carbonated drink satisfies that sensory routine. Have you ever tried mocktails, flavored seltzers, or other non alcoholic beverages?
Oh yeah, I drink some water and soda or tea, um, but during the day and coffee, I like having that cool, refreshing alcohol. It just because I know it helps take stress of the day off.
Well, when this urge hits, you should try applying the 15-minute rule. Tell yourself you'll wait 15 minutes before deciding to pour a drink. Often the intensity of the craving passes once you pivot to another activity. So while it gives you that immediate feeling of relaxation after work, you're starting to see some trade-offs. Poor sleep, morning fatigue, and elevated blood pressure that your doctor noted. On a scale from 1 to 10, where 1 is not ready at all and 10 is completely ready, how do you feel to make a change in your drinking habits, or even a small one?
Oh, I'd say from a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say I guess everybody's telling me I need to make some kind of change, so I guess 6.
How do your friends or family usually react if you decide not to drink or order something non-alcoholic?
Oh, they act a little surprised sometimes, but some days I just skip it. If I got a rough day the next day, or tired of hearing griping, I just have to do without.
So sometimes it helps to have a simple go-to line ready so you don't feel put on the spot. Something like, I'm focusing on my sleep this week, or I'm pacing myself with water tonight works wonders. Next time, before heading to a gathering, setting a clear boundary for yourself, like deciding on a 2-drink maximum or ordering a glass of water between every drink, can keep you in control. And so a 6 is great. That shows you're definitely thinking about a positive change. Why did you choose 6 and not a lower number?
I don't know, lower, like 2 or 3 or something. I just like, I'm not 100% thinking that I want to change it altogether. My health matters to me, and I don't want to end up with having to take blood pressure medicine if I can help it. So definitely a 6 is I probably need to pick a 4 or 5, but I don't know. As far as the numbers, I just maybe cut out 1 drink an extra a day and see how that does. I would like to have more energy.
So you really value taking control over your health and having the energy to live your life fully. That's a strong motivator. It's completely normal to feel torn. Parts of you want to keep the routine that feels comforting, while another part wants better health and more energy. That's an internal conflict. That internal conflict is a natural part of the process. Making a change doesn't mean taking away from your enjoyment. It's about adding things that leave you feeling better overall, like better sleep, clearer focus, and control over your health. If you were to make a small change starting this week that feels manageable, what might that look like?
A small change wouldn't sound that bad. That's kind of why I said a 6 or, I don't know, maybe 5. I don't think I want to stop drinking completely just because it's a social thing. Maybe I could limit weekday drinking, or just 1 beer after work or 2. Or try not to drink on every weekend at all. Maybe, I don't know.
Those are solid options. Cutting back on weeknights could make a noticeable difference in your sleep quality and your blood pressure. Which of those options feels most realistic for you to try out over the next week?
I could definitely try to swap my weekend beers for something else, but I guess if there's a game on, it'd be hard to do. But sparkling water sometimes helps, or tea, but it really doesn't take that. Didn't help me sleep and help my mind wind down, but I could try to save the drinking for the weekend, Friday and Saturday.
That sounds like a very clear, actionable plan. To help you set up set you up for success, what might get in the way of that plan when 5 p.m. rolls around on a stressful Tuesday?
Oh, just habit for sure. Reaching to the fridge and getting the beer out. Just a routine, everything, every day.
How could you prepare ahead of time to break that automatic habit?
Well, sometimes stress related to, if you've got a lot of griping going on at home or a lot going on, plans, and I can try to make sure I buy some flavored sparkling waters or try this weekend, keep it right in front at the fridge instead of grabbing for the beer, but it's the first thing I reach for.
So again, making a change doesn't mean taking away from your enjoyment. It's about adding things that leave you feeling better overall. The better sleep, clearer focus, and better control over your health. And that's a great strategy. So let me summarize what we've discussed today so make sure we're on the same page. You came in today open to exploring how alcohol fits into your life, especially in light of recent blood pressure results and morning fatigue. While drinking has been a reliable way to unwind after work, you've decided that protecting your health and improving your sleep are top priorities now. For the coming week, your goal is to pause weekday drinking and replace the evening routine with flavored sparkling water. Keep alcohol for the weekends. How does that sound to you?
I mean, it sounds fair. It sounds like a good plan. I just kind of think we need to talk about it some more. Like maybe trying to understand what it is I need to do.
So, again, you need to have a plan, a pre-planned plan for when you're out drinking with your friends. So, a strategy could be the 15-minute rule, like we discussed, where when you're going to order a drink, you decide to wait 15 minutes before pouring the drink. This is for the weeknights. Like when you get home from work, instead of just going right to the refrigerator, wait a little while before you actually pour the drink and see if you still want the drink. And then you have the options of using just a cold glass with a cold carbonated drink, because again, sometimes that satisfies that sensory routine. And there's also mocktails, flavored seltzers, non-alcoholic alternatives. And then when you're out with friends, I know if it feels regular to keep drinking with them whenever they order another round, but you can always order a water in between each drink, or cut your drinking back to just weekends, and just go out and drink socially, and try to limit yourself by 1 or 2 drinks every weekend, and then in a few weeks you'll be at 0 or better.
Can you tell me again, like, what I do when I feel triggered, or like I start just feeling like I need to just have a drink to wind down, or another drink, just not really taking the stress off of myself? Sometimes I just feel like I want to slow down drinking, but then something happens, or something needs fixing, or something didn't go right at work, or spouse is griping. I just feel like I sometimes just need another one, just because I won't be stressed for 1 minute, and then next minute I'll get stressed. I guess not necessarily do I think I gotta have the drink to help with the stress, but it does just help calm some of the thinking, and it helped me be able to fall asleep when it is time for bed.
Have you tried other sleep aids like melatonin or relaxation techniques like deep breathing? Maybe going for a walk with your spouse or significant other before bed?
Yeah, a lot of times they don't want to do none of that. Just outside, it's just scary place for my spouse. It's like the inside and the safety of the bed or watching TV. And plus, we both work a lot of hours, and it is hard to get out and do stuff outside of just working and coming home and winding down, going to bed.
I really think you should probably buy less alcohol to keep at your house. Because if you don't have it there and you have to go out to get it, that would decrease your drinking. Because if you're tired from working long hours at work, you're not gonna want to get out and go to the store to buy beer. So why don't you try limiting how much beer you actually keep around the house?
Yeah, that probably wouldn't hurt. That's probably not a bad idea. Just cut out stopping and picking it up on the way home.
Well, 2 to 3 drinks a night really isn't signs of a physical dependence. It's more mental, and so I don't think there's a need for rehab or anything like that. So you're still at the early state. You're still in the early stages. I think it's just a mental dependency. So I think it's completely doable that you just cut back one drink at a time for a week, and then the next week cut another drink back, so that you can make those changes in your drinking habits. And like I said before, even a small one will make a difference.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, the whole point of being here is just try to make a difference. So I'm going to have to put forth the effort to try to say, I wanted to do this. It was not, intention not to have to be on medicine or cause any other health problems just from weight gain. So I'll definitely, try to find some other outlets or something to help deal with stress or wind down. Like you said, maybe some melatonin or something to help sleep at night.
Well, just don't forget that while alcohol helps some people sleep, it's going to affect your deep sleep. So you don't want to depend on alcohol for helping you get extra rest every night. So you definitely want to try some other techniques. So, and how about we schedule a quick 10-minute follow-up in 2 weeks to see how this transition went and adjust anything if needed.
Yeah, we can figure that out when that is. What about what kind of things did you say I could do to have other than alcohol?
You can use the cold glass technique with just a cold carbonated beverage, like a Coke or Diet Coke or Coke Zero or something. You can try mocktails, which are alcoholic beverages without the alcohol, flavored seltzers, or non-alcoholic beverages altogether, like water or tea or flavored water.
And what about when my friends are ragging me to go out and have a drink with them, it is hard to turn them down sometimes.
So maybe you should think about not going out as much with those friends, or just applying those rules, like the 15-minute rule, and try ordering a water in between every drink, so that way it slows down your drinking and helps pass the time. If you don't down the water in between drinks, and you don't down your drinks, if you try to drink slower, then more time will pass when you're out with your friends, and it'll be, instead of 30 minutes and 2 drinks, you can look at several hours with a couple of drinks and a couple of waters, and try to talk and visit more and watch TV or whatever, karaoke or whatever's going on at the bar, rather than focusing on downing drinks one after the other, so that you don't hit that 4 or 5 mark on a weekend night, and try to keep your numbers down.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I have to also watch what I drink for when I don't want to, I don't want to drink and drive, so I have to limit that number too, because just a couple drinks I'm okay, but when I start having more than that, I have to limit myself or get a ride or somebody else to drive me home. And that's also a burden. What about just the limits, like 2 drinks?
So if you're drinking 2 to 3 drinks at night at home when you get from work, cut that down by 1 this week, and then next week cut down another one, or in 2 weeks cut down another one, and then in 3 weeks or 4 weeks cut down that last one to where you're just drinking non-alcoholic beverages or no beverages at all, just water. And then while you're out with friends on the weekends, since you're at 4 or 5 right now, cut that down by 1 this weekend. Maybe skip next weekend, stay home, do something with the family, or do some other activity. Go to a baseball game or a football game or something. And then the next week, go back out and cut down by another drink. So, and then don't just cut yourself off altogether at one time. Just do a gradual step down. That way you don't force your body into some shock reaction to not having the alcohol at all, but you're still getting some, but just not as much as you were drinking.
Yeah, I can see where that would help. Trying to get my friends not to nag me about it and ask me to go out to drink, or I guess the game seasons I don't have to see every game, but I do try to spend more time at home, and I always got plenty of projects to do. Just I don't know, some days work's definitely more stressful, and I know tell me again about what alcohol messes with my sleep.
So yeah, alcohol, like I said, alcohol will affect your deep sleep, and it cuts back on the amount of rest you get overnight, so that you feel sluggish and tired the next day, because you're not actually getting real sleep. You're just you're not in deep sleep. You're not in the REM sleep where you actually dream and resolve the issues that you have going on around you in your day-to-day life.
Yeah, I mean, I know I have to wake up to pee a lot too, because I guess all that drinking beer goes right through you sometimes. My health does matter to me, and like I said, I don't want to end up on long-term medicine. I definitely need to be able to get my sleep, because I know how important sleep is for making your day better the next day. Can't never get that back once you lose it. I'll definitely try to swap out some weekend beers, and even try to cut back maybe a night or two without drinking at all. See how that does for me. Again, how do you do it ahead of time? Like, just I need to get some earmuffs at home, or
no, not earmuffs. Just be prepared not to have one drink after the other. You have to slow yourself down and pace yourself.
Yeah, when it starts getting hot, it ain't worth drinking.
So, you do want to come back and follow up with me in 2 weeks to see how the transition's going?
Yeah, that sounds completely fair and doable. How long do you think it would be?
So if you cut down 1 drink a week or 1 drink a night each week, that's after 3 weeks you would not be drinking any at home, and just save your drinking for the weekends. And then if you cut down 1 drink every week or every 2 weeks, after 2 months you should not be drinking at all on the weekends.
Well, definitely sounds like something I want to do. Hopefully when I get into it, I'll be able to have the willpower to do what you're telling me that I should do, or I know I should do it too. That's kind of why I'm here. But I know things are harder to do than actions are louder than words, I guess. I really do appreciate you talking to me and explaining all this, and we'll see how I can do.
Well, you're very welcome, and thank you for taking a proactive step for your health today, and I'm glad we could work on this together. and I look forward to meeting with you in 2 weeks to see how your progress is going.
All right. Well, thank you again, and I'll see you then.